Hey guys, my name is Ron from redpillrebellion.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to build a brand new lifestyle blog completely from scratch. So let's get right into it. So step one, after knowing what your domain name and blogging niche is going to be, is to pick the best blogging platform for you. Now, if you're a hobby blogger or if you're just using blogging as an outlet for expression, then using a free blogging platform like WORDPRESS.com, Medium, Tumblr, or any of those other platforms are perfectly fine. Now, if you are looking to build a lifestyle blog as a business and you hope to build a revenue-generating asset online over the long term, then I highly recommend that you use self-hosted WordPress or WordPress.org. And the reason for this is it's completely user-friendly. You can create beautiful drag-and-drop websites with absolutely no coding required. And honestly, over 90% of the blogs on the internet use self-hosted WordPress. So let's go ahead and jump into step two so I can show you how to go ahead and set up your domain in web hosting. And just so you understand, web hosting is essentially a place where you house your website online. And it's essentially like a physical business has to pay rent to keep their doors open. So your business online is using a hosting company so it has a place to live and people can actually visit your website. So let's go ahead and jump into that and set that up now. Now keep in mind, I do get a small commission if you do go through my link, but I'm also getting you the lowest price possible. And honestly, every hosting company has an affiliate program and I could be recommending anything, but the reason I recommend SiteGround is because I use it myself personally and I can completely stand behind it 100%. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into that and get you set up. Okay guys, so in order to sign up for SiteGround, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and click the link in the description below this video and you'll be taken to a website that looks exactly like this. So next, you're going to go ahead and click on WordPress hosting and view the plans there. And next, you're going to go ahead and select the plan that works best for you. Now, if you're just getting started and you only have one website and you don't plan on growing past 10,000 subscribers in the first year, then go ahead and click the startup plan. That's probably the best option for most people. If you're starting with a built-in audience that comes from social media or another website, or you need more than one website, I would recommend going with the Grow Big plan. So we're going to go ahead and click on the startup plan here. Now for this step here, you need to go ahead and register your domain name. Now, if you already have one, then obviously you're going to enter that here. You could register one with SiteGround, but I don't recommend registering a domain name with your hosting company for two reasons. One, I think it's more secure to keep your hosting and your registrar or your domain separate. And two, it's much cheaper. You see here, you actually would have to pay $18 a year if you're registering with SiteGround, or any other hosting company will also charge you for this. So with Namecheap, you're paying somewhere between $7 and $9 for the year. And so that's what I recommend. So I already have a domain name from Namecheap, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that here, which is launchyourlifestyle.co. So we're going to go ahead and click the blue proceed button and head to the next step. Okay. Here you're just going to enter your personal information to set up your SiteGround account. Now here they'll ask if you want to use this SG Site Scanner service, which is a monitoring and basically a security service. You don't really need that because I'm going to show you how to use a free plugin for that later on. So you're just going to click confirm, and if you choose to opt into their email, you can. It's up to you. Click the blue pay now button. Okay, so that's it. You're all done. You're all set up. The next thing we're going to do, which is step 3, is to install WordPress on your website. So you'll click to proceed to the customer area. Here you're going to click on the giant orange setup site button. You're going to go ahead and click existing domain, and you'll type in your domain name here. So launch your lifestyle.co. Okay, click continue. So here you'll see I'm getting a little message that says that the place where I registered my domain is not the same as SiteGround. And that's because I used Namecheap to save a bit of money. So if you do get this message, just go ahead and click continue. And it's as simple as that. You just click on Start New Website. You're going to click on the WordPress option. And here you can go ahead and set up your login. So for example, I could just do my name at my domain. And then I'll generate a secure password here. Once that's done, you're just going to click continue. And again, because we just registered and we're setting up something new, they're offering us this option to add site security. Again, you don't need that because I'll be showing you how to get a plugin that does that for free. So just click finish. And here you are, it's creating your site. This will just take a few minutes. And that's it, you're all set. You've installed WordPress on your website. Pretty simple. So you're just going to click here to go ahead and go to your admin panel. Now you'll see here that the page isn't working. And as I said, if it's not working, it's because you haven't set up your DNS settings in your registrar. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that using Namecheap because it is what I recommend. So in order to do that, you'll go here to namecheap.com. You'll click on dashboard. And next to the domain name that you want to connect with your SiteGround account, you'll just click on manage here. So in order to connect your domain to SiteGround, you're going to go here to name servers. You're going to click on the drop-down box and you're going to click custom DNS and you're going to paste your name servers in here. And in order to get your name server accounts, all you're going to do is you're going to go to SiteGround, you're going to click on websites, and you're going to click on site tools. And you'll see that your name servers and your IP address are all right here. So in order to connect your domain to SiteGround and get your website online, you're just going to copy these name servers here into Namecheap or wherever your domain is registered with. They're going to have a similar process. So you're going to paste those in here, and then you're going to go ahead and click on this little green check mark here to make sure it's complete. So you'll see here that it may take up to 48 hours to take effect. That's because the website needs to propagate and it needs to connect your domain to your hosting. So keep in mind that it does take up to 48 hours for your website to propagate. So if you're following this process, you're not going to be able to log into your WordPress right away. It'll take at least 24 hours. So we're going to go ahead and wait until that's done, and then we'll continue this process.
All right, guys, so we are now back. Our website has been propagated. As you can see, I'm here on my domain, launchyourlifestyle.co, that we just registered. And this is what the website will look like out of the box. So what we want to do now is move to step number 3, which is to choose a WordPress theme to install on our domain. So in order to do that, we're going to go back to our SiteGround homepage here. And there's a couple ways you can get to your WordPress dashboard. One, you could just go to websites, click on WordPress Kit, and go directly to your WordPress admin. And that will bring us here to the dashboard where you'll need to log in. And the second way is simply just to type in your URL and add wp-admin to the end of it, and it will bring you to the same place. Either way, you're going to go ahead and log into your WordPress dashboard. All right, so here we are on my WordPress dashboard. All right, and in order to install a theme, you're simply going to navigate on the sidebar here to Appearance and click on Themes. And you'll see a few themes that are already pre-installed that come standard with WordPress, but we're going to click on this Add New button here at the top. And you will see a list of recommended themes that you can browse through and decide to pick and install. You could also browse through the WordPress directory here, but for this particular website, I already know which theme I would like to install. So we're going to go ahead and do a search. And when you're ready to install a theme, you're just going to click on the big orange install button. And then next, you're going to click activate to make sure it goes live on your website. All right, so now if I refresh my site, So now you'll see that there's nothing here on my website. That's because we have yet to design or set up the website on the back end, which we'll get to in just a few moments. But that is essentially how to install a WordPress theme. It's pretty simple. You could pick any theme you like and then just go from there. Now, the next step to set up your blog is to go ahead and set up your blog settings so it functions the way that you would like and operates the way that it should. In order to do that, you're going to navigate here to the Settings tab, and we're going to start with General Settings. Under the General Settings, you're just going to name your blog, and if you have a tagline, you can enter a tagline. All right. Ensure that your admin password is set up correctly, and that's pretty much it unless you want to change the date and time format. Once you're done, click Save Changes. And then we're going to skip the writing thing because there's not much to change there, and we're going to go to the reading settings. Here, you're going to either set up your home page as a list of your latest posts if you're constantly updating your posts, or if you have your blog post hosted on a separate blog page, which is an option, you'll click on a static page and you'll select which page is your home page and which page is going to be your blog page. Okay, so you could do that. You'll also choose how many blogs you want to show at the same time and whether you want to have it as a full text or an excerpt. I personally prefer doing it as an excerpt, but you could set it up how you'd like. And very important, do not check this box unless you don't want to get any traffic from the search engines, because it discourages search engines from indexing your site and allowing people to search and find your pages. So do not check this if you'd like to get blog traffic from search engines. Other than that, click on Save Changes, and then we will move to the discussion settings, which is essentially your settings for commenting. I'm not going to go too in-depth into this. The only thing that you want to do is possibly set up when your notifications are and your moderation as far as whether you want to approve the comment before it goes live on your site or you just want it to automatically go there. I definitely recommend moderating your comments. Aside from that, ensure your settings are set the way that you like for your comments. Set up your avatar the way that you would like and click Save Changes. Then we're going to go ahead and move to the media settings. This is where it will tell you what your standard WordPress images are as far as size, and you can change that if you'd like for some reason. Other than that, you can click on Save Changes and move to the next. And then, of course, we're going to go into your permalink settings. Now, if you've already used SiteGround to set up your hosting and host your website, this should already come default set up correctly. However, if not, you want to ensure that the post name option is selected. And this is very important for SEO because you want to use keywords in order to generate traffic and interest. Otherwise, if your structure is on anything else, you're probably not going to get as much traffic as far as search engine optimization. All right, when you're done with that, click on Save Changes and you can move to the privacy settings. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth into your privacy settings, but essentially this is requirement for the GDPR and the CCPA Act of California. And basically, you just want to have a page that outlines what you do with data and how you collect it and what it's for. There's a policy guide here that gives you an introduction of what it should look like and how you can write yours. You could also find a template for this online. But when you're done setting up your privacy settings and have a page for that, you're all done with your settings and we can move to the next step. All right, so now that we've completed the settings, the next step to get your blog online is to install essential WordPress plugins. To do that, you're going to click over here on Plugins and you're going to click Add New. And we're going to search for the plugins that I recommend. There's 6 essential plugins I recommend that you start with. But to understand what a plugin is, just think of it like an app for your smartphone. They all have different functionality and do different things, but essentially it's to enhance the experience for your blog, for your visitors to your page. Okay? So the apps that I recommend are Akismet Spam Protection, Updraft Plus for security protection, WP Forms for form builders and data collection, W3 Total Cache to cache your site, assuming you're not using SiteGround, Grow Social by Mediavine, which is a social sharing platform that makes it easy for any visitor to simply click and share with their friends on social media. And the last plugin that I recommend installing is Yoast SEO. It uses a traffic light system, green, yellow, and red, to tell you if your blog posts are optimized for SEO. This is very important, and absolutely you should have this installed. Now, to install a plugin, you're simply going to just click the orange install button and click activate. Very important. Works the same way as installing your theme. So once you've installed and activated all of your plugins, you're just going to navigate to installed plugins. And here you will be able to go through the settings of each individual plugin and make sure that it is operating and functioning the way that it should and the way that you'd like. This is especially true with Yoast SEO and Grow Social. You definitely want to go through the settings for those, as well as Google Analytics for WordPress by Monster Insights. We're not going to go too in-depth into that, but just make sure you go into your settings. Once you've got your plugin set up, your last and final step to get your blog online prior to starting to write your first post is to build and design your theme the way that you'd like. Now, in order to do that, you're just going to navigate to Appearance, Customize. Here you'll see that you have all these different options and settings that you can, design your blog the way that you like. You can change the page layout. You can design your header and footer. You can also go into menus and set up your primary navigation menu and add any items that you might want and reorder those items. You can change them as menu or submenu items. You can also set up your site identity as far as your site logo. As far as the visual representation of your site logo and tagline, I'm right now in Greece, so just as an example, I'm going to use the Greek flag since I'm not going to load my logo. And you'll notice that your image will end up going here. You could change the dimensions. Again, I'm not going to go too in-depth into this for this particular tutorial on how to start your blog, but in order to build and design and get your blog functioning the way that you want to spend some time going through these options, particularly in the Appearance, Customize section of your WordPress site, as well as playing around with your widgets. And in order to mess around with your widgets, you can go to Appearance Widgets. And here you've got some block widgets. You can set up your latest posts. You have a sidebar element, some footers. Now you'll have different widget areas depending on your particular WordPress theme, but this is where you would go in order to design and get those areas displaying what you would like and functioning the way that you want. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is all the steps you need in order to start and launch a blog online using WordPress with SiteGround. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. Aside from that, stay tuned and I will see you next time.